Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Dear Sister. आज मेरे साथ दोबारा Alishba and Sanya are sitting for the podcast.
Hi.
How are you guys feeling?
Good. Really good.
You don't sound really good. You're like good, really good.
No, I do feel really good. I just have a little bit pain in my ear because of the piercing.
Piercing.
So yeah, it's healing. That's why.
कब कराई है?
परसों.
वैसे कहते हैं बरसात के मौसम में नहीं करानी चाहिए.
मुझे समझ में नहीं आई थी बरसात था कि ठंड थी तो मैंने करा ली.
And how are you feeling?
I'm good.
You're feeling good? Okay. So what do you guys want to talk about today? Alishba, you tell us. What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about media.
Okay. Why does this topic interest you?
So I am a media student and we're all in the media field. So why not talk about something which is very dear and near to us today?
Okay. And what about you, Sanya? Why do you want to talk about this topic?
Because I was a media student and talking about media is like really interesting and it is very vast. So we can, put a lot of opinions. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. What is your favorite form of media?
Initially, it was the traditional media because
there was
the
no
only
other option.
Yeah. And now digital media has obviously taken over. And we're really
yeah.
enjoying the platforms and the different variety we're getting. And now we actually have a choice to pick and choose what to watch and what not to watch.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like you have that option. अगर आपने वो TV cable लगानी है, you have that, and then you have.
वो नहीं है like channels के ऊपर जिस जो लगा है वो ही देखना है.
Then you have Netflix, then you have YouTube, and then you just have your like
we have
whatever
other apps
app.
as well.
That's also digital media. Yeah. Whatever like content you consume online, that's also the same thing. Right. So generally, ये तो one of the things we just said is के how पहले we just had traditional media, now we have all these options, right? So that's one thing that has changed about media over time, but I am sure that there's a lot of other things जो कि over time evolve हुई हैं or change हुई हैं. So let's talk a bit about that कि how films, dramas and media was back then or up sort of like what has it become. So what are some of the basic things, Sanya, that you've noticed that have evolved over time?
So what I have noticed is कि सबसे पहले if you talk about Pakistani media, तो यहाँ पे एक टाइम ऐसा आया था जब हम बहुत छोटे थे, जब ABC, एनिक वाला जिन टाइप्स शोज़ होते थे ऑन एयर, तो दैट वाज अ गुड पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. आई रियली लाइक दोज शोज. मतलब वी आर ऑल्सो वॉचिंग दोज ABC, अल्फा ब्रावो, चार्ली एक्सेट्रा. बट देन देयर वाज दिस टाइम के जब ज़िंदगी गुजार टाइप शोज़ आए. नाउ देयर इज़ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ड्रामाज, तो आई फाइंड द स्क्रिप्ट वेरी बेसिक. मतलब it's always about लड़ाई झगड़ा, सास बहू टाइप्स. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पाकिस्तानी फिल्म्स, वो तो अब आके थोड़ी इवॉल्व हुई हैं. पहले तो वी वर गेटिंग बैक टू लाइक आइटम सॉन्ग थिंग. इट इज़ नॉट आवर थिंग बेसिकली. इट्स लाइक it's from the Indian culture, right? But I really love a few movies जिसमें there's this movie Bowl. Then there was this movie खुदा के लिए. Oh my god, I find them really nice. I find कि जो मीडिया आ रहा है ना, पाकिस्तानी मीडिया specifically, when we talk about films, when we talk about dramas, it's evolving in a better way. मतलब we have more topics than typical saas bahu relationship, husband wife relationships. Then we have more topics other than a typical fun item song numbers in the films. We have more like topics that are focusing on the real issues, so like domestic abuse and etc. So I think now the upcoming media will be really informative, really infotainment wise, it will be really nice. So I really like the coming soon wala factor or phase of our media. So
Alishba, do you think ke jo Pakistani dramas hain, they are any good?
I think they are. We have evolved as viewers and they have evolved as creators over the time, and some of the dramas are unparalleled, like the story, the characterization, and honestly the response they've also gotten from all over the world is telling us how good they are. And even borders across, people do really appreciate how we're not dragging our dramas to a 300 episode
Oh my
show.
God.
They're not soaps anymore. Yeah.
And they're meaningful. The audience can take something from them. And apart from that, the production has really grown.
But don't you think कि जो messaging है अभी भी हमारे dramas में वो बहुत कम dramas में अच्छी है. Like sure we've evolved, but I do think कि there was a time जब पहले तो हमारे काफ़ी बुरे ड्रामे होते थे and then there was we had a really good period जिसमें बहुत अच्छे ड्रामे आए and most of the dramas were good. But in recent times most dramas are really bad.
They are mainly focused on one thing.
I mean, so maybe they are, finding new concepts to sort of tackle and story chalo wo kare. But I just feel like, said characterization. I think characterization is still very poor. Matlab, for example, they're very stereotypical. They'll always show rich people a certain way, poor people a certain way, and वो उसको further like stereotype करे जाते हैं. फिर then they'll always show women a certain way and men. So I think हमारे यहाँ characterization वाली जो चीज़ है और developing characters and roles, creating roles is still very poorly done.
Exactly. Like it's not necessary, it's not important कि अगर आपने कोई middle class या lower middle class की कोई actress कोई लड़की दिखानी है, you're showing it with oh my god चादर दुपट्टा and everything. That can be someone who's from the upper class as well, right? They have specified the roles, which I don't think is really nice.
मतलब आप जो है further अपनी क्या कहते हैं you are जो लोगों में already stereotypes हैं जो आपको change करनी चाहिए वो further जो है उन्हें enhance और establish कर रहे हैं. And जो मुझे इसमें बहुत बड़ा flaw लगता है वो ये कि whenever they show whenever they show a certain class या upper class दिखा रहे हैं या बिल्कुल उससे ऊपर वाली class दिखा रहे हैं, so the elite जो बिल्कुल, so they're showing that they're always bad or mean or evil, which is absolutely wrong because what this is doing is that ड्रामे तो सब देख रहे हैं, so जो हमारी क्या कहते हैं ना क्लासेस के बीच में जो
डिफरेंस
आप उसको ये कैसे कि creating the resentment even more.
That's true.
Like अगर पहले already हमारी classes के बीच में एक resentment exist करती है, you are further establishing that, which is not what this country needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we don't need that at all, you know. So वो वाली जो चीज़ें हैं वो बहुत अजीब हैं. मतलब not necessarily कि जो लोग upper class में या elite class में होते हैं वो जो हैं बिल्कुल ना उनको दीन से कोई ताल्लुक है ना उनका कोई दीन ईमान है कुछ भी या they're just evil awful people just because they have money. So there's that, and then just because and the worst part is कि जब आप बहुत सारे और physical features से किसी को relate करवाते हो. So for example somebody like me who may be modern and well spoken in English is always portrayed as an evil, mean person. That's and true. That's not fair to people like me. Right? And that's not fair because जो लोग ऐसे नहीं हैं वो देख के समझ रहे हैं कि जो ऐसा लगता है ना वो खराब है. So वो चीज़
and being human beings, I think हम लोग जो ड्रामास जो हम स्क्रीन पे देखते हैं उसको हम अपनी रियल लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश कहीं ना कहीं बैक ऑफ द माइंड सबकॉन्शियस में कर रहे होते हैं.
Because obviously whatever you consume in media subconsciously you are absorbing that, right?
Exactly.
So वो चीज़ ठीक नहीं है.
And this is very important क्योंकि we're normalizing those things. Like अगर ड्रामा में किसी को मारते हुए दिखाया जा रहा है और they're behaving a certain way, so it is being normalized for the general audience watching it also. Also like अगर हम दिखा रहे हैं कि जो लड़की यूनिवर्सिटी जाती है शी इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू यूनिवर्सिटी बट ऑन अ डेट और शी इज़ गोइंग आउट with her friends bunking university, and we're normalizing those in so many dramas. So the parents who are having a difficult time sending their daughters especially to university, तो उनके तो trust issues वहीं से ही शुरू हो गए ना कि what if she's doing the same. Like exactly. We're also portraying कि how people who from backgrounds who don't get permission to go to universities, they go in a chadar and a burqa and then they go to universities and they change their whole attire and they they take inspiration and they come back home and they want to be all that rich and they're being rebellious to their parents. So it is sort of not bridging that gap but making it more.
It making it worse. So I feel like these things exist and it's okay to show them, because आपने अगर society में कोई भी आपने if you have to bring a change in society, you have to show these things as well. But the fact is कि जो उनका resolve और resolution होता है ना, that is important. And also again, it's okay to show that, but it's not okay to always show that.
Yeah, it's not okay to show them again and
हमेशा
again.
ऐसे ही होता है कि अगर यूं वो क्या उसको further वो ना करो, आप mix and match करो, lots of characters, lots of different people and things.
And I think so not only on the hatred part, जो love and affection, अगर आप if you show love and affection between a couple, like between parents, so I think that will bring a positive change to the society, right? If you're showing ke, oh my god, your parents are very strict and rigid, on the contrary, if you're showing parents being very supportive to their children, listening to them, being friend with them, so I think that will bring a really positive change in the society. So this is what जिसको emphasize करना चाहिए कि show this, so because this is what our society needs, instead of showing that same typical negative
and
thing.
It's happening so much कि अब एक ना point of view develop हो गया कि हमारी society like men will be this way, women will be this way. मतलब there are a
mother-in-laws will be this way.
There are a lot of fathers, brothers, families who support their daughters so much, and then when they watch those dramas, so they can't relate. And a lot of dramas I'm also talking about which were appreciated, उसमें भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें were done in differently, like Udari, for example, or Parizat, for example, or there's another one running, Bakhtavar. उसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें relatable हैं. The struggles, the setup, even the characterization to some part is relatable to the audience watching it. Because a lot of people in the upper society or the upper class may not have the time to watch those as much as working women or housewives or people who watch a drama at night when they sit with their families. So जो relatable element है, it should be relatable so that people can connect to it and not like make things worse for them.
But the thing is that for a lot of people जो आपको वो दिखाते हैं ना कि सास बहू के relationships और जुल्म और problems, for a lot of people in this country, that is relatable. That is why they continue to make it, because that gets a lot of ratings. Because people watch it because they're like, oh, this is how it is. So what I'm saying is that it's important to show that aspect. But the resolve needs to be different. Where people can see, like, no, this is not right or normal. So if you continue to show कि एक abusive husband है, and she ends up with him, or or you show कि आप abuse दिखा रहे हो but आप उसको एक प्यार के उसमें लपेट के दिखा रहे हो, तो that's wrong.
That's wrong. Yes.
So what I'm saying is कि you need to show the reality of the society. It's important for relatability, but also like you need to show the other side, and you need to show like you have to sort of
balance
कि क्या realities हैं लेकिन क्या reality होनी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
But for general audience also, हम dramas या films क्यों देखते हैं? हमारे free time में we want that leisure time, we want a getaway, and if we are watching something which is very stressful और वही लड़ाई झगड़ा जो हमारे घर में या कहीं से जिसके लिए हम मतलब we're getting away, तो a lot of people stop watching those dramas in between कि oh my god, it's so toxic, it's getting on our head, we can't deal with even
more of this.
But
even in
the sad part is कि such dramas they get TRPs. And अब जैसे कुछ ऐसे dramas जिनको TRPs मिलनी चाहिए, जो कि present करने चाहिए, जैसे there was this drama Alif. I genuinely loved watching that. It is basically a story of a calligrapher and his son, and the connection between God and human, and how a girl comes and changes his life, stuff like that. But if you haven't watched it, you should watch it because it's beautifully.
So now you're saying enough people didn't watch it.
No, it got really, really bad TRP. Matlab, it was not that much.
So that's the thing, right? कि when you because see हमेशा यही होता है कि media is driven by the people. If you're not getting enough ratings, you're gonna stop making it.
Yes.
So it's the people, it's the viewers. They need to stop watching the trash for the people in the media to stop making that trash.
Exactly.
Right? Like it's a chicken and egg.
And such
दोनों को वो करना है
balance. Then again. And such dramas are beautifully directed.
Yes.
Attention to detail is crazy.
Yeah, that drama is like a piece of art. It's a beautiful drama.
So अब वही बात है ना कि मैंने मतलब यही देखा है कि जितना वो हमारे यहाँ यही है कि आप उसको जितना नेगेटिव बनाओगे उतना वो लोगों के लिए इंटरेस्टिंग होगा. जितना वो सोशल इश्यूज़ के ऊपर होगा. नाउ इफ़ यू कंपेयर इट टू लाइक शोज़ ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स, ठीक है, आप दे आर हार्डली टॉकिंग अबाउट फैमिली इशूज़ लाइक, और अगर उनके फैमिली ड्रामाज भी हैं, सो देयर just, oh my god, if anybody's seen This Is Us or it's, you know, like that's family, that's a family drama, it's uski theme family hai. But it's not like, if you see the themes, they're so different from jo hamari family themes hoti hain. Hamari family themes so bahut hi ridiculous hoti hain. So matlab there are so many themes you can explore, but it's always the same.
Exactly.
It's always the same, because baat wo ye कि your audience is not sort of ready for
change,
demanding for more.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a billion things you can talk about in dramas. On Netflix kholo, every show is about something different.
You have so much variety on Netflix, and I think there are few. We as a Pakistani industry, as a Pakistani media industry, we should go to Netflix and tell them to please produce and direct few dramas for us, because we are getting out of content. So I think that's really important for us to focus कि हम किस तरह अपने आप को positively ले सकते हैं, उसको deal कर सकते हैं, instead of typically making those सास बहू stuff and you know that family issues.
मतलब मेरा तो ये कि देखो, मैं like I don't personally watch a lot of Pakistani dramas, but my mom does sometimes. So मैं उनके साथ जब बैठी भी होती हूँ, तो there is never anything different. कुछ होते हैं जो बहुत अच्छे होते हैं वो, but I also feel कि it's in the way ना, like at the end of the day मुझे characters सारे same लगते हैं. अगर concept same भी हो, तो मैं देखती हूँ, I'm just like, ये सारे characters ऐसे क्यों हैं अम्मी, why are they like this? And you know, my mom, she's like, she has the same problem with these dramas, but she continues to watch them. And she's also sitting on the couch and getting frustrated. And वो गालियाँ दे रही होती है और यूँ करती है. I'm just like, मामा मत देखें, अगर आपका इतना blood pressure high होता है, and stop watching this stuff. But that's the thing. That's why she watches it.
Their guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. Yeah. So.
But recently we've also evolved in the web series wali side.
Yes.
And it is really is something which has improved or taken the standard forward. Recently there was this web series starring Sabah Kamar and
Shamim. Mr. Shamim.
Mr. Shamim.
And that's a breath of fresh air. वो बहुत अच्छे हैं.
It's a beautiful web series.
Those topics are things which exist in our society, and they need to be talked about, but maybe on traditional media our audience isn't ready for it. And a place where people can pick and choose कि क्या देखना है और क्या नहीं देखना, वहाँ पे एयर करके its viewership, like people specially purchased उस website की subscription just to watch that drama. So it was really like it has also given hope to other people making dramas or creating content कि it can be
those who are
accepted
just who are that way. They have like a ray of hope कि okay fine, we are getting recognized, there might be some positive outcomes of it. I was just recently watching an interview of a really renowned actress, and she was telling कि let the audience decide what they want to see and what they not want to see. I don't understand the banning culture of Pakistani media or anything. Like why cannot the audience decide what are they okay watching and what are they not? Maybe we are okay watching those that they have been, you know, the things that have been banned, then watching those that are continuously playing on our TV screens.
So आपने banning culture की बात की, उसमें वो मुझे बहुत flawed पता है क्यों लगता है, because आपको पुरानी Lollywood movies याद हैं?
Yes.
Do you remember how weirdly obscene and violent they were? Were they ever censored?
No.
Were they ever banned?
No.
They were enjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were, sorry to say, downright disgusting in what they were showing and doing. You know, the sort of thing that they were building जो वो propagate करते थे.
Even the dresses that they were wearing.
The dresses, the clothes, the dancing. मतलब वो एक आप देखते थे एक चौधरी सा होता था वो खड़ा है और वो साइमा उसके इर्द-गिर्द डांस कर रही है. Like it was all very weird, but that wasn't banned.
Exactly.
So they're not even clear about कि
what to ban and what
it's
not
like,
to.
You know, it's very pick and choose के. So what I realized that I don't know, but मुझे इस तरह लगता है कि ये banning जो है ना, it's more on Western ideas rather than what's actually obscene or violent or vulgar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like आपको मतलब वो बैनिंग इस बेसिस पे ज़्यादा करते हैं rather क्योंकि वरना तो लॉलीवुड फिल्म
Exactly. वो तो सारी फिर
मतलब वो तो बहुत ही खराब और गलत थी, right? So where is like what is the concept behind banning?
Exactly.
Because the reasons that they give are these. ये वल्गैरिटी है या सोसाइटी खराब हो जाएगी या इस तरह की चीज़ें या so no that
honestly
is
the reasons are very dumb. They shouldn't be there. Again the banning I think so वो सिर्फ ट्रेलर देखते हैं and then they decide okay this is about this, ban it.
हाँ no जनरली होता है कि या तो सेंसर बोर्ड जो देखता है वो बैन करता है, वो तो देख कर ही करते हैं बट वही बात है कि लाइक can you please be clear about your criteria of banning? That's all. अगर if you're not clear on that then people are not going to, then it's like आपका जो दिल चाह रहा है आप वेस्टर्न आइडियोलॉजी को बैन कर रहे हो, आप किस चीज से इस सोसाइटी को बेसिकली प्रोटेक्ट करना चाह रहे हो.
Exactly.
That's not clear. हाँ.
And a lot of actresses and actors also have these problems because I was listening to somebody's interview the other day and they were saying कि किसी ने एक question पूछा हुआ था उनसे and the girl asked कि आप इतने रोने धोने वाले कैरेक्टर्स ही क्यों करती हैं, and she was like I'm also done and dusted but मुझे कोई और स्क्रिप्ट्स आ ही नहीं रही, सब में कहीं ना कहीं किसी में ज़्यादा है किसी में कम है, सो आई डोंट हैव एन ऑप्शन एंड ऑब्वियसली आई कांट quit doing it because it's my bread and butter. So like where are all the ideas going, why are they not executed? Because I know a lot of people want to explore, like directors and all, and actresses also want and actors want to take that chance, but what is stopping them?
I think पता है क्या इसमें बहुत सारे जो है ना things play a part. So I do think कि जो channels वाले हैं ना, when you send in the drama they have to prove whether they will put it on their channel. So a lot of the times I think because नॉन रोने धोने वाले don't get enough views, channels उनको होता है channel से reject हो जाएगा because channels want the ratings.
Obviously.
So like there are lots of people who are playing a part in this, and who are those people making those decisions? Unless all those people are on the same page, that they want to change the industry and where it's going, and then the only options that this audience gets are those new kind of dramas, only then things will change.
Exactly.
हाँ, फिर आप वो change लेकर आ सकते हो.
लेकिन आप पहले से भी देखिए ना, like 80s 90s के ड्रामाज या 70s के ड्रामाज, they were like production wise obviously जो उस वक्त best provided था, they were made that way, but उसका content and everything was so on point कि families used to sit and they would watch those dramas क्योंकि वो week में एक दफ़ा एयर हो रहा है या कुछ भी, and किसी के एक के घर में TV है तो everybody used to get along and watch that drama and take something from what they're watching. And अब it's like जितनी options हैं, nobody is even coming to one consensus, because अगर मैं personally अपनी बात करूँ घर की, तो if me, my sister-in-law and my mom are watching this drama and it gets very like sazishi at some point in time, so my brother wouldn't want to watch that drama. जबकि जो पहला content था वो production wise इतना aesthetically pleasing नहीं था या इतने कोई luxury जोड़े मेकअप चीज़ें नहीं थी, but the content took it so far कि आज भी आप YouTube पे जाके देखें उसको तो people want to watch अंधेरा उजाला, वारिस,
अनकही भी था.
See, this is the reason why our generation is also watching those dramas and loving them. अब जैसा हमारी आजकल के जो dramas हैं, I don't think so that our future generation, my nieces or nephews are like 3-4 today, they are going to watch it when they'll be young, because there is no, like, I don't like the scripting of आजकल का ड्रामा, and maybe this is the plus point के
तो बहुत ही
पिछले ड्रामास की स्क्रिप्टिंग बहुत अच्छी होती थी. The dialogues were really nice.
Script and acting, यार मैं बताऊँ क्या acting होती है आजकल के ड्रामों में. मैं आपके लिए चाय ले आऊँ, आप फ्रेश हो जाओ. Literally. And you know, it's like they speak all dialogues like this. मतलब what I'm trying to say is कि it's very far from reality. अगर उन्होंने कोई पॉइंट इस्टेब्लिश करना है ना, तो ओनली वे दे विल डू इट इज़ अगर एक ड्राइंग रूम में 2 लोग बैठे हों और भी उसके बारे में बात करें. मतलब लाइक आप डायरेक्शन में आपके पास कोई और तरीका ही नहीं है कि हाउ टू प्रेजेंट एन इवॉल्विंग सिचुएशन. एवरी सीन इज अ डायलॉग बिटवीन 2 people बिकॉज दैट इज़ द ओनली वे दे नो हाउ टू टेल अ स्टोरी. सो देयर इज़, या फिर वो एक लड़की होगी, वो अपने आप से सोच रही होगी तो वो पीछे से चल रहा होगा, या यू नो समथिंग लाइक दैट. And so it's like when will you evolve to a more sort of मतलब इतना तक नहीं होता कि अगर आपने किसी की conversation. So what I'm saying is कि real life elements are very missing. उस दिन मैं एक Netflix पे शो देख रही थी, so उसमें जो है दिस वुमन शी इज़ ड्राइविंग, उसको कॉल आती है, तो उससे पहले ना वो एक बर्गर ठूस रही होती है मुंह के अंदर. तो उसे कॉल आती है, उठाती है, वो यूं करती है, वो कहती है यू नो लाइक पहले वो फिनिश कर रही होती है बाइट, फिर वो बात करती है. हैव यू एवर सीन दैट? पाकिस्तानी डांस एवरीथिंग इज परफेक्ट. सो वो ड्राइव कर रहा है, कॉल आएगी, वो बस उठाएगा, एक परफेक्ट सी कॉन्वर्सेशन होगी, वो बंद. देयर आर नो रियल लाइफ एलिमेंट्स. समटाइम्स यू आर ईटिंग व्हाइल यू आर ड्राइविंग, समटाइम्स यू आर डूइंग रैंडम थिंग्स, लाइक देयर इज नो. सो ये जो छोटी छोटी चीज़ें होती हैं ना, दैट्स ऑल पार्ट ऑफ लाइक रियलिटी. सो इट्स ऑल वेरी मेड अप एंड फेक.
That's true. And also the concept of a hero. Like अगर हीरो है ना और हाथ में आईफोन नहीं है और बड़ी गाड़ी नहीं है और जेल्ड अप बाल नहीं है, stereotype. That person is not a hero. Why isn't a father who's working hard to support his daughters or his children is a hero? Why isn't our drivers or the people, the support staff for instance, a hero?
Yeah, like you're saying the protagonist, like the main character.
Why? And even female. Why can't a mom be a hero? Why?
Yeah, because the storylines are not around these people. Because it's always the same basic storyline.
Why can't a trans be the hero?
Exactly.
They are also living a life. And अपने लिए तो हीरो ही हैं.
And there's an entire story, right? Like there are more stories than just what you are
exactly showing. Other than characters, the way they are, like you said, I think so we have characterized our characters on the basis of skin color.
Acha.
Yes.
Okay.
Like whenever you see a hero who's a male hero in a drama, he'll be very fair, very he'll be having a good body and stuff like that. But on the contrary, you cannot imagine a hero who is really tan, who's not that, who's very fair, something like that. अब जैसे recently एक drama आया था परिजाद, उसके ऊपर भी लोगों ने बोला था ये कैसा हीरो है. Like कुछ लोगों ने बोला था कि if you want to put a hero, तुम लोग उसी इंसान को डाल दे जो कि naturally tan था.
Yes, that was a major flaw.
Exactly. So drama was really good. Everything was perfect. But again, the characterization, the way they choose the characters, that's need to be taken care of, because again you never know कि एक बंदा तो कर रहा है, वो ड्रामा कर रहा है because उसको maybe the script is good, maybe the idea is good, but when he see the characterization, वो वहाँ पे अपने आप को वो कर लेता है कि चलो ठीक है, I can get that, I can get into the character. But getting into character with changing your entire skin color, I think that's huge.
That's just messed up.
That's messed up.
That's okay, so let's talk a bit about the technical aspect of it, like production wise. मतलब again we go back to the Lollywood movies, उनकी quality क्या होती थी, and now the sort of films that we're creating, they're just so much more better camera quality. But obviously technology over time has improved, right? So with improved technology we have better production quality. But पहले तो it was like आपको उस वक्त वो चीज़ bearable लगती है, अब वो unbearable है.
बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है.
So I think we've come pretty far in that. But I think that's also a very recent thing, because internationally production has gotten much better, and then we came in very slow and much later.
Their production was like aesthetically pleasing and all way back. जब हमारी उस तरह से थी तो तब वो लोग अच्छा ही कर रहे थे. And but now to say we have evolved and we are getting better with the production, but then again हम लोग like I feel like we focus a lot on one thing and we forget about the other. जैसे पहले content था पहले पुराने ड्रामों में, but production by choice या मतलब वो उसी तरीके से they didn't have any other choice. जो उनके पास resources थे, they made and shot their dramas on those, but the content was a lot more focused on. But now when we're focusing more on production, even if there's no storyline, the characters don't match. हमारे shots बहुत beautifully different locations पे, बड़े घरों में, खूबसूरत कपड़ों में, they'll be that way. So where did the content go? And in dramas जहाँ पे दोनों चीज़ें come together, then you know what happens. They're widely recognized. They're masterpieces.
Yes.
For example, if I talk about Baghi, Sabha Kamar's Baghi, उसकी production quality was obviously good, but the content was there, the story was there, the hero was there, and the hero wasn't the typical hero. So of course not everyone would have liked it, but a lot of people got that content and they watched it because it was different. And both of the things came on one page and they played to the role of its success.
Even before Baghi, there was this drama Shahrazad. And I love that drama, the way it was directed, produced and everything.
अच्छा कुछ दिनों पहले ना, because Muzammil hasn't seen that drama, so I was like, Muzammil, I want to show you Shahrazad. तो मैंने वो YouTube पे लगाया, and I was like, and the quality was so bad, because अब वो भी बुरी लग रही है, because even though it's not that old, but it's still like compared to जो अब आप quality आपको मिल रही है, उससे comparison में भी
soften हुई वो वाली.
Again, technology has advanced over the time, so maybe that's also the reason.
With every phone that comes out, like literally it's so weird. It's like a year ago I loved the camera quality of this phone, and then the next year you're just like, kya camera hai? So I don't know, like you, it's so weird because आप जिस era में होता है आपको होता है it can't get clearer than this, but then it gets like more better and better and better.
वो तो हर चीज़ में you learn a software और आप उसमें feel करते हैं, you feel good about yourself also कि मुझे तो अब सब आ गया, and somebody else comes and he's like,
yes,
you're using so much older software or whatever, अब तो ये चीज़ें use भी नहीं होती, and you're like, it took me 4 years to understand
this. That's also true. I think technology is like advancing way too fast.
That's true.
So I think we've come a long way when it comes to that, and like you said कि अब कपड़े and stuff like glamour भी बहुत ज़्यादा आ गया है, so which is really, I mean it's good in a way, but बस मुझे लगता है कुछ चीज़ें ना realistic नहीं लगती. Like far from reality नहीं ना जाना चाहिए, आप उसको real तो रखो. If you look at like Hollywood movies, so उसमें होगा कि you don't see glamour, but it's very close to like reality because you're showing like real life people. So वो आपको वो बस एक certain वो elite में वो glamour नज़र आएगा, but you will always feel like the focus isn't on the glamour,
and that glamour
it's still on the characters,
and that glamour is also very subtle. It looks well done. It doesn't look like a shift from going to work and going to a shadi in a sari or a lehenga or whatever. The relatability is still there.
Talking about the comedy dramas that we have in Pakistan, and that's a separate discussion, because I feel like now the comedy dramas that we are playing or showing on TV, they need a break, and there should be more creative comedy shows, comedy sitcoms on our TV screens, because एक कॉमेडी ड्रामास की भी थीम होती है प्रॉपर, तो उसको आप कितनी देर तक लेके चलोगे, तो यू नीड टू इवॉल्व दैट इन अ डिफरेंट मैनर अदर देन इवॉल्विंग द फर्नीचर एंड द सेट, आई बिलीव. So what's your take on the comedy shows of Pakistan? Like, do you like watching?
I find them very silly, so I really enjoy them. Like in the sense कि because
they're supposed to be silly.
हमारा कॉमिक जो है वो स्टाइल है ही like silly. Like if you talk about बुलबुले, like what is it? It's just ridiculous kind of humor, but but it's very different. Like I'm not like, if I open Netflix or I open something, I'm not going to find that humor. So I do enjoy it because it's so different. I don't find that anywhere, I mean, so I mean, I do like it, I do enjoy it, but घिसा पिटा तो है.
That's true.
Although I do think Bulbule was sort of different.
It was one of the first comedy shows.
One of the first.
I remember
comedy
Family
shows,
Front was
Yeah.
बहुत पहले का
Family
आता
Friend
था.
बहुत पुराना है.
हाँ, हर Wednesday को हम लोग as a family बैठ के देखते थे. But I think Bulbule then it came after a really long time.
Yeah.
What are other comedy shows?
There's this Dugdugi.
हाँ.
Then there was this one more. I don't remember that name.
मैंने तो इतने एक कुदूसी
साहब की बेवा.
हाँ,
कुदूसी साहब की बेवा.
हाँ, वो भी I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But कुछ रमजान में सही अच्छे lighter mode वाले dramas आते हैं which you really enjoy watching with your family.
Yeah. I think comedy का ये कि I think it's fine. It's like
it's
really,
healthy comedy. It's nice
it's really
comedy,
brain dead. So that's it's good. I mean, there's lots of kind of comedies. There's clever comedy as well. But I do enjoy it. Sure, they should explore more kinds of humor, but I like what they have right now.
Nice. But we're growing as an industry also, and we're growing as a viewer also. Now that we have so many options, कि अब हम एक comparative analysis कर रहे होते हैं with Hollywood or whatever, but we also need to remember कि जब हम 70s और 80s वाले era में वो गुज्जर वाली films बना रहे थे, they were making so much better content. लेकिन तब it wasn't that accessible, so we didn't have that comparative analysis like that. But now when we do, so it'll be very unfair to sort of make a comparison.
Definitely.
But of course, जहाँ पे room of improvement है, वहाँ पे है ही है.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Yeah. मतलब I feel like you know, every content, like you said, we're evolving as viewers. Content evolves with its viewers. So the thing is that unless the viewers evolve, जो chicken and egg वाली problem की थी, content will always slowly evolve with that. Like वो standalone तो कर रहा है because some viewers have evolved. But the masses haven't.
Yes.
Most people haven't evolved out of it. तो वो जब the thing is कि, you know, media is one thing, dramas and movies are one thing. People are evolving on the daily basis because of a lot of things. And when they sort of grow and evolve, then they will, you know, watch that sort of content, and then that content will be more available because people are ready for it.
अब fan following भी तो बहुत ज़्यादा है ना, because वही accessibility की बात और technological advancement, all our actresses and actors and people from the media have social media following also. तो बहुत सारे लोग certain dramas देखना चाहते हैं जिन actress या actors के तस्वीरें या Instagram feed उनको पसंद हैं. So वो चीज़ से थोड़ा सा ये हो जाता है कि even if they're beautiful, they're good as models and they're not as good as actors, they'll still be casted.
Celebrated, casted and celebrated by the people because they just like how they look.
Everything is connected. All the social media platforms are connected. All the mediums are connected.
With each other, and they have an impact over each other.
And a lot of people from our older generations are the actors or actresses who worked in theatre and then they've evolved into drama, and that was their journey. अब हमारे बहुत सारे लोग are coming from different industries like modeling, for example, and they had the exposure and they thought we have the skill and the talent and they got the opportunity to explore it. तो अब वो acting में आ गए and they're growing जैसे जैसे वो आ रहे हैं हमारे सामने. But जो लोग पहले थे, our actors and actresses, they used to do theatre, and then जब भी वो screen के सामने आए, their performance was consistent and people enjoyed.
So I actually have a huge problem with that because मुझे होता है कि पाकिस्तान में ना, if you are famous you can become an actor. What sort of criteria is that for acting? That makes no sense. You're a singer, you're a model,
you can be an actor too.
And if you have that typical face, if you look at all the actresses and actors in our media, they all have the same kind of face. If you have that face and then you're famous, you can become an actor. What is why is acting not a criteria for someone to become an actor in this country? Honestly, it's really not. Like, a lot of people can genuinely act, और वो बनने भी genuinely वो है. But I feel like it's not fair to them कि जब आप बस because you are a model or because you can sing आप उसको
it's very unfortunate and sad, but that is what is happening today. And a lot of people who've been acting for years and years and years and years, but वो उस तरीके से शायद उनकी fan following नहीं है या वो उस criteria of beauty में fit नहीं करते, वो lead में नहीं आ पा रहे.
Exactly.
But somebody who fits to those
all the
beauty standards, वो आ रहे हैं. It's not like के मतलब whatever, but they should also be given the chance on the basis of what is required. If it's a TVC, तो उसमें सिर्फ शक्ल या वो ही आ रही है, तो sure, why not?
Yeah.
But if it's a drama और उस character की requirement is of somebody who can be played by someone who's not fitting those beauty standards or who's not so famous, so they should be given that opportunity.
Person a chance.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. So wo, often like we discuss this ke bas like I discussed with my husband because he wants to be an actor.
Oh wow.
He always wanted to be an actor. He never became one, and it's like it's one of his passions कि मैं method acting सीख के कभी actor बनूंगा. I don't think that's ever going to happen because he's not going in that direction at all. But it's like, you know, आपका एक अंदर से एक होता है कि sometimes you wish you could sing or, you know, so he always wanted to do that. So we often discuss acting. So then he's just like कि यार क्या मॉडल बन जाऊँ तो एक्टर बन जाऊँगा, यू नो ये क्या है, व्हाट इज दिस. सो इट्स जस्ट लाइक कि बस आपने फेमस होना है और फिर बिकॉज यू कैन ब्रिंग द ऑडियंस दे विल गेट यू टू, यू नो, बिकॉज वो एक थिंग होगी कि वो इसकी फर्स्ट एक्टिंग गिग है, सो पीपल विल जस्ट सडनली कम एंड वॉच बिकॉज ऑफ दैट पर्सन.
That's true, but जिस तरह आपने बात की of how people come from different backgrounds and they do act or model or whatever, तो इसमें ये भी है कि there should be a standard set by the industry or by the people, and it should be implemented now because it's high time we do that. And it's not like कि viewers या audience को समझ नहीं आती कि कौन पढ़ के या सीख के आ रहा है. Like even आप directors में देख लें, a lot of people who have studied or who have a background of the technical things also, उनका काम as compared to the people who are just going with the flow में फ़र्क है.
Of course, but like for some people acting is very natural, like वो बचपन से ना फनकार से होते हैं. So some people can do it naturally without learning it, but according to me, like even if you've always had a knack for acting and you have a talent for acting, you should still learn it. Like still go through that sort of course for it. But खैर हमारे यहाँ कुछ भी होता है. So I just feel कि you know a lot of things like you said कि हम production में पीछे थे, अब आगे हैं वो उस टाइम पे कहाँ थे. But I feel like कि acting तो बहुत अरसे से हो रही है. Acting is something that could have improved by now.
I think so we should now take acting as a profession instead of just taking it as a chance. You know, like we should take it, there should be a proper criteria for acting, for actors. जिससे वो they should go through interviews and then get into that.
No, I'm sure they do this. Most people
but
do.
Again,
just, if they're not famous, so I'm sure that they go through the auditions and everything for that. But it's just, you know, you just getting that opportunity because you know how to sing, so act is not fair.
That's not fair.
Yeah, because I'm sure industry में ऐसे तो होता ही होगा. Although I feel like maybe the acting has never really grown. Because there are some very excellent actors, but if they're given the same script and direction, will their acting show? No. So I feel like maybe the real flaw is in how our dramas and films are directed
or scripted.
Unscripted. Yeah. Because I've seen like, you know, some people like they really shine, like they really know how to act, but अगर आपको direction ही इस तरह की दी जा रही है, same typical perfect scenarios which are not more real life, तो आप कितनी ही एक्टिंग दिखा सकते हो.
Exactly.
अगर आपने ऑब्वियस किस्म का डायलॉग बोलना है तो आप उसमें कितनी एक्टिंग कर सकते हो. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
और ये भी थोड़ा डिलेमा है कि even now acting isn't accepted as much as it should be as a career. Like
I mean, I think it is now. I mean, आपकी इंडस्ट्री इतनी बड़ी इसीलिए हुई है because now it is like a very proper
but not so much कि आपके इतने स्कूल्स हों या वो हो कि मतलब अब फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम अ मीडिया स्टूडेंट, सो पहले अगर आप 10-15 साल पहले देखें तो वेयर वाज द मैस कॉम डिग्री, लाइक कितने लोग ही उस मैस कॉम डिग्री में जाते थे. एंड नाउ वेयर आर एक्टिंग स्कूल्स के ठीक है कुछ हैं, दे आर वेरी फेमस, लेकिन उसमें भी एक लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ पीपल कैन गेट इनटू दोज institutes. A lot of people in my degree also had a thing for acting, and they explored their opportunities during the degree, but the degree they're paying for is not what they want to do. After we've graduated, they're going into theaters and they're practically working just because they needed that validation of being a bachelor's graduate or whatever. आप किस फील्ड से हैं, आप क्या करते हैं. So अगर वही उसी लेवल पर हमें एक एक्टिंग स्कूल मिल जाए, and instead of wasting those 4 years into other things, they focus on those, तो जब वो 20-22 years में निकलेंगे तो they'll
be more polished.
What they do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's not being taken as a profession that seriously, in the sense that there are no degrees for it, there are no schools for it, 100%. But generally, I feel like people who are actors now, they're taken more seriously. Like in the sense, the industry is more serious now.
Industry is.
पहले तो ये होता था ना, अच्छा बस ठीक है, like it's just कुछ लोग हैं जो entertainment provide कर रहे हैं type. But now definitely it's a more serious industry. Like I do think अब पहले like you wouldn't hear people or even if people did say कि अच्छा हमने acting करनी है, तो it would be a very odd thing to hear.
और तुमने एक्टर बनना है.
Exactly.
Like what?
एक्टिंग तो करते हो लेकिन काम क्या करते हो?
Exactly.
It's not like that anymore. Now people like literally, like I've seen around me के लोगों का होता है कि अच्छा acting करनी है, so people just literally relocate to Karachi because they're like कि अब हम वहाँ जाके अपना acting career एक start करेंगे, एक pursue करेंगे. This is something that was unheard of before. So now it's definitely become an industry उस तरह से, but definitely not on that level. Yeah.
But if the industry is growing, there are more artists, more actors, there should be more institutes to polish them.
Yeah, I just feel like the people aren't there yet. Who's going to create that institute?
I have
who's going
friend,
to teach in that institute?
Exactly. I have this friend, he is a tremendous dancer. He dances so well. And when he was my batchmate, and I was like, Fahim, what are you doing now? Like, why are you doing journalism? Like, when you are such a good actor and a dancer, like, it does not match. तो कहते हैं यार कोई option ही नहीं है, मतलब और मैं क्या करूँ? NCA, the only, I think, the art school which allows people to be more open towards such art fields. वहाँ पे मैं जा नहीं सकता because of some other issues, but मैं उसको ऐसे कहती थी dude why like तो I think so he said कि तभी भी हम ये डिस्कस करते थे that there should be more schools like this and stuff so that we can work on ourselves, polish ourselves. So I think that's needed.
I think digital media although has played a role in the sense कि जब लोग mass comm और media की degrees करते हैं, so now they can at least find jobs in their field because अब आपको digital media की तो jobs बहुत ज़्यादा मिल जाती हैं. पहले तो ये होता था कि अच्छा आपने media पढ़ लिया, अब आप किस तरह फिल्म ड्रामा या like even journalism या news की industry में घुसो फिर. Because you know like बहुत मुश्किल होता है कि when you have such a limited number of options to job opportunity क्या ही
बहुत कम है,
कैसे मिलेगी.
और थोड़ा सा ये भी है कि उस तरीके से टैप्ड या एक्सप्लोर्ड एरिया नहीं है कि फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय यूनिवर्सिटी एंड आई टोल्ड पीपल कि आई एम डूइंग अ मीडिया डिग्री, तो पहली चीज़ होती थी कि आर यू गोइंग टू कम ऑन टीवी, आप एक्टिंग करेंगे या आप ड्रामे बनाएंगे. सो उसके अलावा भी बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें हैं जिसमें ये डिग्री हेल्प करती है. जर्नलिज्म, योर मार्केटिंग, योर एडवर्टाइजमेंट एंड योर इलस्ट्रेशन पार्ट एंड व्हाट नॉट, मतलब हर चीज़ में है. सो वो भी थोड़ा सा इस तरह है कि अगर ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन हो एंड पीपल वांट टू एक्सप्लोर व्हाट दे हैव अ थिंग फॉर एग्जांपल फोटोग्राफी, इट्स नॉट जस्ट फोटोग्राफी देन आपने किस तरीके से अपना पोर्ट्रे करना है अपनी चीज़ को या पोर्टफोलियो बनाना है, वो भी आपको सिखाया जाएगा. सो इट कैन obviously be done through a degree or getting into an institute, how to present your idea, present yourself.
It's an overall thing, right? जिसमें बहुत सारी और चीज़ें भी you learn and ये इंटरेस्टिंग आपने बात की, क्योंकि मीडिया पहले तो बस यही था कि अच्छा एक्टिंग करनी है या क्या. अब लोगों को थोड़ा बहुत पता है कि अच्छा मीडिया में और चीज़ें भी होती हैं. लेकिन अगर अभी भी आप लोगों को लाइक उनको ये थोड़ा बहुत पता चल गया, लेकिन जब मैं किसी को बताती हूँ ना कि लाइक समबडी आई नो, जिसको अब मैं बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सप्लेन नहीं करना चाहती, एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकती कि अच्छा व्हाट डू वी डू ऑन डिजिटल मीडिया, तो मैं जब भी कहती हूँ कि यू नो मैं डिजिटल मीडिया में हूँ, it's usually older people because they don't understand. Like if I tell them कि you know I'm a content creator or my work is on Instagram or on YouTube or I have a podcast, they don't consider it work.
Yeah, they don't get
कोई वाला problem है, like they're just like ये क्या है, like this is a hobby or whatever. So I mean whenever I tell them कि you know मैं digital media में हूँ, so their first question is अच्छा कौन से channel से.
Yes.
तो उनके लिए बस वहाँ पे
वहाँ तक ही मीडिया है.
वहाँ तक मीडिया है कि अच्छा which channel, like which channel. That's always the question.
When I told people that I was going to work with you, तो somebody said कि अच्छा कौन से चैनल पे आती है और कितने बजे आती है. तो मैंने कहा जब आएंगी तो फिर बताएंगे, लेकिन वो चैनल नहीं आती.
When I did my mass communication and I told them कि मैं mass comm कर रही हूँ, I'm doing this degree, journalism and everything, they कहते हैं अच्छा तो अब हम तुम्हें न्यूज़ पढ़ते देखेंगे, अब हम तुम्हें न्यूज़ कास्टिंग करते देखेंगे, तुम कैमरे के आगे आओगे. मैंने कहा नो, that's not what I'm thinking of. So it's good कि mass communication or media is very diverse, very vast. It's really nice.
Yeah, because of the opportunities not being able to provide it, as you talked about acting also, बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनकी स्केचिंग स्किल है, लेकिन वो सिर्फ शायद एक टाइम पे उनकी हॉबी रह जाती है बिकॉज दे हैव टू डू अ प्रोफेशनल डिग्री एंड देन दे रियली गुड एट ड्राइंग और व्हाटएवर इन द क्रिएटिव साइड, बट दे हैव टू do a professional degree
because they have to make money.
A business degree or whatever. So वो कहीं पीछे ही रह जाती है, and if they start excelling in that, तो मतलब they're unstoppable ना.
But the more interesting thing is कि you know how aesthetics have become such a huge part of every industry.
Yes.
I feel like that has been such a big breakthrough for artists and digital artists and all kind of artists, because पहले तो नहीं था. Now it's like everybody needs an artist. Because you can, like, no company, nothing, nobody can function without artists, and especially now because everybody needs a digital presence, and if you need a digital presence, you need aesthetics and art.
Exactly.
So everybody's looking for designers, everybody's looking for artists, everybody's looking for that person who can tell them आपको ये चीज़ यहाँ नहीं यहाँ रखनी चाहिए. So just even that sense. So for that, people really do need somebody who has that degree, who have the art. They don't just have that skill, but has a very holistic view of art, जो कि आपको सिर्फ एक आर्ट स्कूल से डिग्री करके ही आपको वो साइंस द साइंस ऑफ आर्ट आ सकती है.
और शायद वो वैलिडेशन भी चाहिए होती है टू पीपल हायरिंग, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली इट्स अनफेयर एट देयर part also to them कि if I come to you and be like I can do everything, I'm very very creative, but they'll be like how do we know? How do we know? Like you're from a engineering background, so do you have anything to prove? Do you have a portfolio? So it'll be very unfair for me to also think कि why aren't they hiring me? They're so unfair. ये है वो है. So वो एक validation भी शायद चाहिए होती है to institutes also.
But I do feel कि जैसा अगर हम hiring करते हैं ना, and if I'm looking for a designer, then और मैं देखती हूँ कि अच्छा उसकी hobbies में है art और इस तरह, और उसका एक portfolio भी है पूरा art का, but उसने degree जो है वो business में की हुई है. But if the portfolio is amazing, I will not care कि अगर उसने डिग्री की हुई है, because I do understand the problem in this society where people are excellent and they have the talent, but they're not allowed to pursue the art.
Exactly.
But that's what they want to do. Right? So for me, the portfolio and skill matters. कि अच्छा उसको उसमें sense है, उसको आता है, तो you know
उसने लिखा है.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. But that's also changing, right? Because जब the need for artists पहले तो था ना, people didn't need them, तो ज़ाहिर jobs नहीं मिलती थी, ज़ाहिर parents नहीं करने देते थे because they want their children well settled. But now like people need them.
And
so people going to art schools are, everybody needs art now.
I think इससे बेहतर आप खुद अपनी example दे सकती हैं, because you were from a medical field and then you switched to an art field. So it's like best of both worlds.
So it's just like, you know, you can have the skill and you can have the talent, but sometimes because our society doesn't allow a lot of people to pursue that or do that. And also, a lot of times you discover much later.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, what you really want to do
In your life.
And in this fast-paced world, if it's just a hobby na, and when you go find a job for that hobby, so people who've done it professionally or who've done a degree in it, वो level 10 पे शायद हो. The person who's hiring you would obviously prefer level 10 क्योंकि technological advancements और वो चीज़ें उनको डिग्री में सिखाई जा रही हैं या कहीं ना कहीं बताई जा रही हैं. But hobby में obviously you're doing it every day before you're sleeping or you're just casually taking it. So वो थोड़ा सा it becomes a little harder for people to gauge onto opportunities which
definitely. I think फ़र्क तो होता है उन लोगों में जिन्होंने किसी चीज़ में डिग्री की हुई हो और ना की हुई हो. But then there are things जैसे अगर आप मेरी उसकी बात करो, जिस चीज़ में the thing I stepped into, it wasn't even an industry in this country at the time. Like let alone a school. Like digital media is something that is very new. अब आएंगे digital media और I think आ गए हैं digital media के courses and things and I feel like अब तो it'll be an entire thing on its own. Bachelor's में चीज़ें थोड़ी later आती हैं, but आप masters में देखो तो it's like you have tons and tons of like degrees in masters for digital media, e-commerce, anything that is digital and wo. And it's constantly developing. Okay, what kinds of courses
it's growing a lot.
Yeah, it's growing. And a lot of things, obviously, they start just with basic courses, not full degrees. That you can find online or somewhere and workshops and stuff. So I think art ka ye ki, like you said, schools nahi hai. I think art takes a lot of time before it becomes more like it turns into a curriculum. And which, by the way, makes complete sense because art is more free. Like, you know, you can't put it in boxes enough. This is how, like, it's supposed to be. So I think art में वही कहते हैं ना कि ज़्यादा you actually study the history. जो आपकी pure art subjects हैं, you study history because how has art evolved over time? Because art will always evolve. It's not like, you know.
It's not staying.
Science is all about facts. Art has nothing to do with like.
Art is everything creative. And your mind can be very creative.
Yes. So is there anything else that you guys have in mind that you want to share in the comparison area?
Yeah, I think we should grow in a more beautiful manner, but we should, as viewers, we should focus on the things कि हमारी society में क्या चीज़ें नहीं हैं और उसको हम बेहतर की तरफ, positivity की तरफ कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं, instead of bringing the same thing, watching the same thing, dealing with the same thing. So I think so we should work towards more creating a positive environment through our channels, through our media, instead of, you know, just dragging one thing. So I think
that's true. But अगर आप इसी चीज़ को ना डिजिटल मीडिया पे लेके जाएं, we didn't discuss this earlier. ड्रामों में तो ये प्रॉब्लम है, बट डिजिटल मीडिया पे भी यही प्रॉब्लम है. So we will continue to watch, you know, like trends on Insta or TikTok, which are basically not doing anything for anyone. You know, but we will not stop and watch a video which maybe more than just a trend. And we're all guilty of that. So zahir people will stop making that stuff.
Exactly.
Because if nobody's watching it, then nobody's going to keep spending their time creating that same घिसा पिटा stuff. So funny coming from me. Because, you know, when I started the podcast, so abhi bhi log kehte hain कि like, you know, why are you doing this? It's so long and it's so like nobody watches the time of like fast paced sort of content. And I don't know if I shared this I haven't shared with you definitely, but I don't know if I shared this with you, कि I'm just creating content for a future audience. When they evolve, then all of this will be there. So I'm just sort of creating that catalog. I'm waiting for that audience to eventually evolve and want to watch and hear something like this, because I know they will. Eventually, more people will evolve into, hopefully. Because that's why I'm doing all this without making any money from this. You know, okay, why do you do this? So let's see. वही बात है. I'm trying to be that chicken and egg में से, I don't know, the chicken or the egg. The egg. Who's trying to, okay, अच्छा चलो, at least available तो हो when people are ready for something like this.
Yeah,
and
you're trying to be the ray of light.
And and maybe people will evolve by watching this sort of content and then sort of discover and aista. It's very slow, but let's hope we can keep going.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. बहुत interesting मज़े की बातें हो गई. A lot of perspective coming from both of you. So thank you for participating. Thank you for listening. And please let us know more topics because we're sort of running out. And हम लोग रोज़ बैठ के सोच रहे हैं अब किस चीज़ के बारे में बात करें. So I would really appreciate कि you leave some of your ideas for us over here. We'd really like to know कि what is it that you're sort of interested in right now to hear a discussion on. And don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe because I'm trying to grow. हमेशा ये कहती हूँ. And patiently waiting for the audience to grow. And I really do appreciate जो लोग देखते हैं because I do understand it's a 1 hour given to this. तो जो लोग मेरी podcast देखते हैं उनको मैं specially ज़्यादा appreciate करती हूँ more than my Instagram audience because this is a lot of your time dedicated to hearing my voice and anybody else who comes here. So thank you for that and I'll see you next time. Allah Hafiz.
Bye.